Kicks 105.5. Good morning. It is 7:47. And, of course, as we have our special guest on Wednesday, it is Mike Barrett from Barrett Insurance. It's good policies and good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's an interesting conversation that I was eavesdropping, you and the sales manager talking.
Oh, so you were actually here and
I was paying attention.
and
Well,
not just being a tool and
I
ignoring
like to
me.
be a fly on the wall and just kind of eavesdrop as to what's going on.
Oh, good.
You were talking about the fact that if somebody came to you and said, I need to review my policy, other than the paperwork that they provide for you, you really can't look into another company or an agent's work with a particular person.
Correct.
Is there ever a time that you call somebody else and say, can I get that information? Or that's not something you do?
That's not something we do. So I'm not going to call the other company or the other insurance agent and say, hey, just give me their policy and make this easy for me. Which really, it's almost better for me not to see it. Because I shouldn't say that because it's good to see it, but
Well, I understand what you're saying because when you find savings, you're like, look what I've done for you.
Right.
And they're like, oh, you're so amazing.
I will tell you that it does not make one lick of difference whether I see it or not, but sometimes it's just nice to come in fresh and then compare. You know what I mean? See it after the fact to see how we're stacking up. I'll give you an example. I went out to a property recently, completed. So when we go to a home, we complete a cost estimate. All right, and it's an industry standard program called Marshall, Swift, and Beck. It's a program we use, and this program helps us put together all the pieces of a house, square footage, building materials used, the floor, the finish work on the walls, the heating system, whether there's air conditioning, whether there's elaborate roof design, meaning there's dormers and things like that. Are there architectural shingles, or are they 3-tab, or are they corrugated metal?
Now, is this a checklist, or is this something on a computer?
This is actually an aggregator on a computer. So we're going through, and we're able to, upon completing that to the best of our ability, finding and it's called a replacement cost estimate for a reason. It's not concrete, but dang, it's going to be
pretty
close.
darn close.
Yeah, okay. If we're throwing at the dartboard, we're hitting the dartboard pretty center. We're not going to get a bullseye necessarily. But I was at a property where I did that, and these folks had been with the same insurance carrier for a number of years. I just completed a cost estimate of about $192,000 for this house, which I found fair. I actually double-checked my work. I had their policy with me and looked at their current coverage, and they're almost $100,000 over insured.
Really?
Yes. Now, what causes
Spending
that?
too much money.
Essentially, yeah. Even if it's only a $30, $40, or $50 reduction in premium.
Can I guess? Oh, I was going to say, it's because over the years, maybe your premium went down, or maybe you didn't file any claims. You're a good, whatever you call it.
Here's what it is. Homeowner policies, and this is
Policy
particular to
holder.
homeowner. There you go. Homeowner policies, all of them. I don't care if it's a homeowner policy covering a traditional home or a mobile home policy or even a renter's policy just for your personal property. All of them have some level of inflation guard, and that inflation guard can vary in percent from 1 to 10%, and it's chosen at inception, okay? So when properties were going up quickly in value, a lot of those inflation guards were at 6 or 8%. Now they're typically 3 or 4%. And that is every year, policy untouched, the limit of coverage you have will go up on the dwelling or your contents by 3 or 4%. And of course, the premium is going to follow, not by 3 or 4%, but the more you're getting coverage, the more you're paying for it.
Now, I don't know if you follow the trend with the real estate market, being that it is somewhat related to the work that you do, but my understanding is right now the real estate market is not on a high, it's actually on a low.
Yes.
A lot of people's homes are not where they would like them to be if they wanted to move or get a second mortgage or something.
You bring in a very good, something we've talked about many times, but a long time ago. There are always multiple values at play on any one particular property. There's always going to be the market value. So what can you sell it for? There's always going to be the appraised value from the town, the appraised value from the bank, which could differ from the town.
Usually.
And then here I come. The guy with 4 heads who says, yes, you have a house that you just bought for $150,000. The town has it appraised for $89,000. The bank appraised it for $130,000. I'm going to write a policy for you for $192,000. Huh?
What?
Well, we're coming in stick by stick, brick by brick. What will it take to give you back what you have? And so that has no correlation with any of those other values because we're paying a lot of attention to what's the average cost of materials. This Marshall, Swift, and Beck program, and there are other ones. We use HomeSite. We use a couple of other ones.
Because a
These
2x4 in 1930 is not the same price as a 2x4 now.
Exactly, and those fluctuate, and we get updates in those systems every quarter. So when values and costs change for labor for building a home or for the materials for building a home, it goes in, it works itself in this program. So I'm always the guy. I can't tell you how many people have tried to sell me their house because they're like, if you want to buy my house for $192,000, it's yours. So it's the never-ending battle in my industry, but it's a good educational point for everybody that I talk with.
If you'd like to become more educated or you'd like to look at your policy, not just good policies here on the radio at Kicks 105.5, but you can go to Mike Barrett. Generally, you're there and we'll be happy to sit down and talk to them.
Once in a while, jolly old elves pop in and say hi.
Yeah. Santa Claus visited you.
Santa Claus, yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, stole my water and took my air conditioning.
Did you put it on your Facebook page?
Not yet.
Okay, make sure you do some.
Yeah.
Speaking of Facebook, these conversations that we have with good policies are on...
Oh, yes, you can find them on YouTube, but we also post them on Facebook and on our website. So let's give it all to you. TheBarrettAgency.com is the website. YouTube, Facebook, and Google is all Barrett Insurance Agency. And, of course, you can always give us a call, 748-5224. Heck, I'll play it over the phone for you.
No.
No, I won't.
No,
not really.
No. I'll talk to you next week.